Hey everyone, welcome to Rockapedia. It's Music Man Mike, along with the producer, Dylan. How you doing, sir?
Pretty well. You know, it's good to be back, as we always do. It seems like we skip a week, you know?
No, we're just a day behind.
We're just a day behind. Day late, buck short.
Yeah.
Blink-182, I think.
Rick Larkin is watching the schedule.
Yes, he is.
With the magnifying glass.
Yes, he is.
We've got Joe in the house with us. Joe, how are you?
Doing great, man. How's it going, guys?
And look at Joe. He's enjoying the great outdoors in Richmond, Virginia.
I'm pretty jealous. Honestly,
man,
that looks like a great backyard.
I kind of did it just so people could hate on the fact that I get to, like, hang out outdoors. Like, it's so nice out.
Well, and the laptop does a much better job than the camera does as far as the picture.
I'm sure, yeah.
The colors are vibrant.
Yeah, I can see the tree moving in the background. It's like, man, I just want to, like, go... I want to go camping over there. What's the deal?
There's a lot of squirrels back here, so just kind of, you know, if something crazy happens in those trees, squirrels.
And you've got a cat sitting job. Is that what I understand? You got a cat sitting?
Yes, I'm cat sitting. I'm cat sitting for a friend today and tomorrow, and then after that, I got a week-long stay with another friend who has 2 cats.
Wow.
So I'm cat boy.
Cat's out of the bag, huh? You're really in it now.
You're the cat's meow.
Wow.
The cat's meow. We've got the cat scratch fever. We could be here for like 30 minutes.
Cat scratch fever.
Yeah.
Cat got your tongue now? You can't do it.
Hey, so are these people that you're cat sitting for, are they on tour? Because most of the time when you cat sit at a house,
no one's on tour. Carrie went to the beach, and Graham is going hiking in the Appalachian Trail.
Whoa, nice.
Oh, that's right up Dylan's alley.
Yeah. Are they doing like the full 2-month or 3-month hike?
Oh no, they're not doing that. That's their ultimate plan. But for now, it's just they just go like one bit at a time. They've done it like 10 times. They're always doing that, so they know how long it's going to actually take to do the whole thing. So
that's really
their plan is to do that eventually.
See, Dylan just turned green with envy.
Yeah, no, that's always been something I've wanted to do, actually. I would love to. I want to hike the...
If my outdoor scenery didn't do it, the Appalachian Trail will.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, so did you know, Joe, that our nephew Bailey plans on making that trip? Isn't that right? Bailey's doing that.
Bailey's doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, if he does, and he'll probably, like, head this way. Yeah. Like, that'll be his end, is going to be this way. So
and
maybe I'll see him.
There has been some rumors that his father, Richard Larkin, will join him on that trip. I don't know if that's
I kind of doubt that.
He said for like 2 weeks, and I was like, dude, if you can last 2 weeks of backpacking through the Appalachian Trail, I would be genuinely impressed. So
he's going to come home a different man.
Yeah, okay, I would hope so. Maybe that'll
different beast.
Soften him around the edges. He's gotten time to connect with the world around him a little bit, you know.
Well, I know he really wants to do it. It'd be a great bonding time to spend with Bailey, but yeah, 2 weeks in the wilderness and the wild, it just
sounds like a great time.
Yeah, for him, it sounds like a great time.
Sounds awesome.
For Rick, it sounds like an idea.
To me, it sounds like HE double hockey sticks.
Yeah.
We can't say that on the show.
Okay. What? Yeah, I guess not.
It's a place. It exists.
It's a place that exists. Technically, we're here. But yeah, so now that COVID has kind of started to wean a little bit, and we're seeing the horizon, you know, there's 50% of the population has been vaccinated, or of the adult population, I should say, has been vaccinated, right? So a lot of places are starting to open up again. We're seeing new tours being announced. We're seeing festivals dropping lineups. I know that Bonnaroo, Austin City Limits, there's the Pitchfork Music Festival in Chicago put out their lineup for this year. And a lot of places are planning on bringing things back pretty full force and pretty heavy. I know I'm pretty excited about it as a lover of live music and as somebody who has not gotten it for a very long time. I am definitely excited about this. Are there any people that have been coming out with things that you guys have seen?
Well, Joe's Instagram guy, so he's probably seen as many as I have. But on Facebook, Instagram, I mean, everybody. There's even festivals I never even heard of. That are coming up.
That are coming out, yep.
100 bands playing.
Yeah, so far the only thing that I've gotten tickets to is Wilco and Slater Kenny, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah. Where's Wilco?
But there's so many festivals right now. Like Las Vegas is having one pretty soon. It's going to be mostly like stoner metal, doom metal stuff. That's going to be it's a great lineup. And there was one in outside of Johnson City, Tennessee, that we planned on going to.
I know.
And I'm hoping they reschedule it.
Is that the Pilgrimage Festival?
It might be. It might be.
And I want to say it's Justin Timberlake's deal. And it started out real small and it gets bigger every year, it seems like.
It wouldn't be that one.
It's not that one? No, I mean, he doesn't play it, and then it's not his genre of music, but he just kind of backs it, I guess. Maybe he lives out there.
That could be. That could be.
That might be. It's
this bands like Monolord and stuff like that, like heavy stuff.
The only reason I'm familiar with Pilgrimage is because Better Than Ezra usually plays it every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they usually play it. So, yeah, the live music is coming back. I mean, I see all the advertisements. Like I said, everybody's got a tour. I mean, and I was telling Dylan earlier, I said, that's great. I can't wait. And, of course, I got a little pain in my neck right here about those $300 worth of Rolling Stones tickets that still aren't usable yet. until it gets rescheduled, I can't even ask for a refund. And I don't know if I'm going to ask for a refund. I want to go to the show, but, yeah, it's been 13 months, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to start feeling that. A lot of these bands are probably going to have to put out not necessarily free shows, but things that they have already committed to. I know, at least for the example of festivals, I was talking with you earlier, and I go to Bonnaroo every year and a half for the past 5 years, and because last year got canceled, my ticket has rolled over, and that's $350 ticket, you know, and I am not the only person whose ticket rolled over. It was I think all of the tickets for last year sold out within the first few weeks of the lineup being released. And so you either had the option to get a refund or have your ticket roll over. And I'm assuming a lot of people let their ticket roll over. And that's at least, 20, 30,000 worth of people who have, bought a $350 ticket that's now just carrying over. And people are still going to have to shoulder the expenses of that. Yeah. And so it's going to be interesting to see how all of that is affected once things start coming back full force.
And what I was saying was that we're all ready. We're so hungry for live music. We want to go back and see it. So as soon as it's offered up to us and you can start buying tickets, how soon before we go broke? How many tickets can I buy? I mean, I want to see everybody. I haven't seen you in a long time. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tickets regular price? Are they cheap because they want you to be able to afford to go to multiple shows, or just going to be back at regular price and I can only afford to go once or twice a month, at the most?
The last show that I went to was in January of 2020. I figured that out, and I was just like, it's been a year and a half since I've been to a show, and that's, for me, is insane. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. So I'm really excited about going to see live music again. There's also the fact that a lot of these bands that were supposed to tour have put new music together in this time. So what they were going to tour on, it's going to be now a whole different thing. It's a different show now. Of course, the Rolling Stones, well, they're, at least no one's died in that band in the last 13 months. So you're lucky there.
And they'll still use the same set list.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Nothing's changing there.
Yeah, so my re-entry into
a little slower.
I'm sorry?
A little slower,
yeah. Well, yeah. Mick will make
comes with age.
Mick will make Charlie speed up if he slows down. So my re-entry into the live music world happened this past Sunday. I have to mark it on my calendar. Sunday, May the 23rd, 2021. I went back to see a live show Sunday night at the Rail Club. I met the owner of the Rail Club while I was there, and I talked to him about it a little bit. What's he been doing for the last year? While there were no shows, because this is a pretty popular club. This is a club where, I would compare it to almost like the Cotillion, Joe. Big name acts come through there. I mean, pretty popular people. I mean, anybody from Saliva to, I don't know off the top of my head, but he gave me a Buck Cherry, people like that. He gave me a list of all the guys that have played there before they closed, and then what the upcoming shows are. And so a lot of good hard rock stuff. But the band I went and saw Sunday night was a Los Angeles supergroup, they call them, when a bunch of guys get together because their band's on tour, and then they go out and play some cool stuff, and it really was a good show. It's Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses. He's a keyboard player, had his keyboard out front. He was the main attraction, and off to his left was Alex Grossi from the Quiet Riot. The bass player was advertised as Chips Enough, but that was not Chip's enough.
I don't.
No, I don't know who that guy was. Chip is pretty easy to spot. This was no Chip. So the guy in the back, Johnny Kelly on drums, he was played in a version of Danzig at one time, I believe. And then he also played in Typo Negative. And he's from Texas.
Okay.
He's from Texas because he had a lot of fans up front yelling his name, and they couldn't help but the guys in the band were saying, "Oh yeah, Johnny, your fan club's here," and all that good stuff. So he must be from here. I'd never seen those guys play before, but I definitely have seen Alex. Sorry, not Alex. I'd seen Chips Enough before, so he was the only one I was going to be able to have any communication with and say, "Hey, we saw you guys. We opened for you guys back in the old days," but he wasn't there, so whatever. Anyway, my thing on that was here. Number one, it was a Sunday night. Okay. It was probably 150 people there. I was very disappointed at my re-entry into the live music world. It's hard to.
Well, when you told me that, the thing I thought of was like Texas has been open for a while now, so people have been going out.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure that bands have been local bands have been playing. I don't think people are that desperate as most places are for live music.
I think
Texas has been open longer than anyone. I think
it has. It has been open open for quite a while. I will say, I think it's heavily dependent on the type of local band too. I know that there's a pretty big alt kind of grungy indie emo scene in Denton that's pretty heavy, and that was like the entire city was essentially just that music scene, and they have not done anything as far as I know, and that was like. I could show up to Denton and any day of the week and just walk into a house where some people were playing or walk into a bar where somebody's playing any day of the week and find something. But it's been very dead and the radio silence is deafening in that town. And I don't know. I think it's very dependent on where you go. I know Billy Bob's does have shows, which is
Billy Bob's
interesting.
has full schedule
shows, yes.
Yeah, I saw Leonard Skinner's doing 2 nights in a row there. This is their final farewell tour. The Leonard Skinner Street Survivors, the last of the Street Survivors tour. They'll be there for 2 nights in a row. I believe Kid Rock's coming for 2 nights in a row. I mean, there's a lot of people coming to Billy Bob's in Texas, and they'll pack that place. There'll be
they
people.
Will. I went to so one of my girlfriend. She her coworkers and her boss there got tickets from their boss to go see Miranda Lambert, like she just gave them to them. Oh. And so we went, and I was like, I'm fully vaccinated. I'm just going to see what happens, whatever. We'll go in. So we walk into this place, and I have not seen that many people in one condensed place in over a year. It was crazy, and Miranda Lambert, we were there until 2 in the morning, and Miranda Lambert didn't even play. So, just thanks for the tickets. Thanks for the free tickets, whatever. And then we just left. But, it's...
Thanks for the possible exposure.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, thanks, man. I definitely, I'm glad. I would not have gone if I wasn't vaccinated. But it was...
So, Joe, did you go see the Pretenders cover band show you were talking about Sunday?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
Yeah, I can't. Something about cover bands, I just can't.
It's kind of.
I can't do it.
It's just kind of a desperation.
It's a thing. I know.
Yeah.
But it's like one of the things they've been doing out here for live shows is they make blocks, so you could get 4 people at a table, and then 6 feet away. You have to pre-order your tickets and get it as a block.
Yeah.
So they're running those out so they can just open it up to everybody now. But some of the places are opening as okay, well, we did that at first, so we have to recognize that and say, hey, this is the way you got to do this show, because those people paid extra money to get those seats the way they were. They got 4 in the front. Well, you can't just let everyone just run in now. Yeah. So it's getting back to normal as far as that goes, because people stopped booking shows that way. But the ones that are already booked are like that, and that's how the Pretenders thing was. You could go in, but you had to sit at a table. And you couldn't get up to leave. You get up to go to the bathroom, but you couldn't go to the bar. You had to have a server come around. I don't know. It was just too much.
That's not rock and roll.
That's not rock and roll at all.
Nothing rock and roll about that.
Yeah.
So like you said, it does go back to what you said. Texas has opened up a little bit before everybody else. Sounds like you guys are where we were 6 months ago.
Yeah.
just trying to come out of it,
which
but
is
not
why
there yet. Man, I went to a Rangers baseball game 3 weeks ago. And nobody had masks on. Maybe in line buying your tickets, but after you got inside, it was, take it off and just enjoy yourself. At the concert I went to Sunday night, nobody had masks on, so it's getting back there now. I'll still go to like the grocery store, and there'll be people there with and people without. I still wear mine just because I got grandkids and I
I
don't
wear
want to
mine.
take a chance. But there's people walking around proudly without it because they just say, well, the governor said I didn't have to, so by gosh, I'm not going to.
You know what? I get the choice, and so I won't.
Yeah. It hurts to wear a mask. It's painful.
Oh, it's very bothersome. It's getting to be annoying. Dylan's got his shots. I'm debating on whether to go get mine. I'm thinking about it. A guy I work with got his. He said his arm's still sore 3 days later, and he's only got the first one. So I don't know.
I got both of mine, and nothing happened.
You had both, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Yeah,
I'm hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never had.
Dylan and I, we're hardcore like that.
We're punk rock, man. We follow CDC guidelines.
Yeah, dude. I'm one of the biggest sheeple you'll ever meet.
That's right.
You know how I live my life. I follow all the rules.
I'm proud of it.
That's right.
Hey, so the reason I bring up Chris from the Rail Club, like I said, pretty iconic club. I don't know how long it's been around, but a lot of famous people, a lot of people from Texas have played there. I really was hoping for a bigger turnout, but didn't happen, so whatever. They called that tour. The band's called Hookers and Blow. We can say that on here. The reason that they came to Texas, they just had a little four dates. They called it the Texas Takeover. They played San Antonio, they played Austin, they played Houston, and then Fort Worth on Sunday night. So they did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm sure the Thursday and the Sunday were probably the two worst nights in the bar business, club business. That's just tough. Friday and Saturday, I hope they packed the place. I really hope they got a good reception. I don't know. I haven't seen any video on YouTube or anything, but I mean, there's such a good band, so much talent in the band. I really hope they packed the place on Friday and Saturday, and then my Sunday night show was just a fluke. That would make me feel better. But I tell you what, another thing I noticed was going in there, and I tell people this all the time. I wish I was a regular guy that could just go in and enjoy the show, but I can't. I got to go in and see what they're doing and what kind of stuff he's using, what's he plugging in, and I got to watch him do this, and who's he, and what kind of vehicle they got parked outside, is a van or a bus, and how much money are they spending right now on this Texas Takeover thing, and I got to calculate all of that in my head. I mean, is it worth it or whatever?
Is it their lights or the house lights? Is it their sound system or the house sound system?
It was definitely the house lights. Definitely.
What kind of amps are you using?
Yeah, definitely the house sound system, because probably 4 different times Dizzy Reed or Alex Grossi would go up to the mic and say, "Can I please get some? Can I please get?" And they started getting frustrated, where I could see it in Alex's face. It's like, well, I mean, it would be nice. I'm just saying it would be nice. Like, oh, here we go, guys. I mean, it's a bad look when the band has to talk to the sound guy that kind of anyway.
Sound guy's like, no, this is how I think it sounds. It sounds good.
He was actually very accommodating, and out in the crowd, it sounded great. They sounded fine out there, and people were saying that to him. You sound good out here. Well, if you can't hear yourself on stage, it doesn't matter.
I can't hear.
Yeah, you want to be able to hear yourself. Either not enough or too much. It's got to be just right. So they worked on that. So it was those issues. But yeah, so I saw that happen. And I also, because I know that Alex Grossi is recently married, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, before COVID, I think. And so he's out on the road without his wife. She's probably back in LA. So he's ready to go home. I see that in his face. Number 2, he lost his best friend, Frankie Benali, the drummer for Quiet Riot, to cancer a year and a half ago, sometimes in the last year and a half. And so he's still dealing with that. I mean, there's a lot on this guy's mind. And he's out there playing guitar. You can just kind of see it sometimes. But like I said, if I was a regular guy, I would never pick that apart. I would just, this guy rocks. Go, Alex. But I know he's a guy. I know he's a human being just like me and you, with personal things he deals with. And now he's out on the road in a van with these 4 other people, schlubbing along and just ready to go back home. And I saw
and probably his first time leaving the house and leaving the city and like getting out and doing stuff. Like, it's got to be uncomfortable for any. Like, I went to a fire pit and I felt uncomfortable. Like, just people around outside, and I was just like, it's a lot of people. Like, I just felt awkward.
Yeah,
it was fine, but like, for some reason, I'm just not used to that. I can't imagine what it's like to play in front of like a bunch of people. And you haven't done that in like a year and a half. You haven't even been around people like that.
Well, I'm sure when they put it all together 3 months ago or whenever it was, 2 months ago, who knows how soon it came about. It probably sounded like a great idea. Everybody's fired up about it. and you leave the house and you hit the road and you're fired up about it, and then you get out there and it's like, oh yeah, I'm ready to go back home. I really got used to being at the house listening to records.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw some of that stuff, and then I saw Dizzy Reed come out and do his keyboard check for sound check. You know, they don't have no roadies; they're their own roadies. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's what I was just gonna say.
They're doing their own stuff. They're carrying their equipment, setting up their own drums, everything. So he's doing the keyboard part of it. And I saw him, and he's kind of like he's got like a bad leg. And even Alex Grossi was stumbling around like with a bad leg. I'm like, God, these guys are catching up to me. I'm 56. I don't do that yet, but I'm sure I don't walk as straight and narrow as I used to walk, and everything makes sense. But Alex had a little limp, and Dizzy was kind of like sideways, like he had a gimp on him. Like, God, what is going on? This is not rock and roll, but it is. It was rock and roll. I'll tell you what, though, those guys were. They started with Pretty Tied Up by Guns N' Roses, and I hadn't heard that song in so long. It got me fired up. They did Rocks Off by the Rolling Stones. I mean, they did a couple of Elton John songs, and Dizzy was excellent on the keyboards with those. Elton John coming through, his piano coming through the speakers just sounded awesome. So they did a great show. I didn't stay all night because I can't do that no more. My late night days are over. They started about 11 o'clock.
Your legs give out.
Yeah, they started about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I'm in for 45 minutes. I don't need to stay for the encore. It was good though. You'd have liked it. They went through the whole list. They did Don't Cry by Guns N' Roses. I mean, I don't know if Dizzy's name is on any of those songs. That's why he gets to play them, or if Axl said, yeah, you're cool, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if they are either. I'm not sure how that works. I thought about that when I saw they started with Pretty Tied Up. Which, by the way, I saw a video of him doing that, and he really kills on that keyboard. He gets all fancy on that song. Yeah. It's stuff that's not on the album.
Well, I think him and that's an Izzy Stradlin song, right?
Yeah,
it's an Izzy Stradlin song.
All the good ones are Izzy Stradlin songs.
I know. So when I heard that too, that's what I thought too. When I heard that song, and I hadn't heard it for so long, I mean, literally, I got goosebumps. Like, God, I love this song. I haven't heard it in years. But I haven't heard Pretty Tied Up in at least 5 years, maybe 10. But it's a great song to open with too. But yeah, I can just picture him and Izzy bouncing off each other with the keyboards and the guitar and just having a blast with that song.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're right. The video I sent you, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a good band. I mean, that video was the best video I could find. My video on my phone didn't come out so good. You don't want to see that one. The picture looks great, but the sound's terrible. So I went to YouTube and found you a good one, so you got an idea of what I had checked out.
No, it was really good, and it was like he sounded good, and he got a little fancy on the keyboards. Like it sounded really cool.
I think that one was probably in LA or something. And of course, if you're in your hometown,
I think it was.
Yeah, if you're playing the Sunset Strip, you're going to give 110%.
I think it was at the Whiskey, actually.
Yep, there you go. Well, that explains it. You're not going to do too much extra at the Rail Club in Fort Worth, but you will do it at the Whiskey A Go Go. Hey, so we're gonna if we don't have Chris on the show anytime. I was going to try to get Chris on today. Actually, if I don't get him on today, we will get him on a future episode because I want to talk to him about what he did, like I said earlier, to survive through COVID. He did a lot of stuff around the community, and I want to get his take on that. He also has some other things that he supports around town. I want to get him in here and talk about that kind of stuff, and just like I said, see what the future holds for him. He's a stand-up guy. Got a great staff that works there. Everybody I ran into, from the bartenders to the door people, are solid people. But like I said, it was a Sunday night, and it was what it was. But yeah, I'm excited about getting back into live music and seeing it. I can't wait for the email from Ticketmaster that Mike, your Rolling Stones tickets are ready for June 17th or whatever the date may be. I don't care. Just give me a dang date.
Nobody died, so we have your tickets.
Yes, but hurry up because they might.
Yeah, we are on the clock is ticking.
Yes.
So yeah,
both clocks. Hey, so Joe, you've been watching the recent shows we've done with the two Mikes. We had a Michael J. Lacey and a Michael Jerome.
Oh yeah.
What'd you think about those?
Awesome. I was disappointed you didn't ask Michael Jerome about Pleasure Club, which is like my favorite New Orleans rock band.
I know. As soon as you text me after the show, I thought, God, that. And he used to be in the Toadies here in Fort Worth.
Yeah,
so.
he was in the Toadies.
And I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, yeah, I was embarrassed, and I forgot totally about the Toadies because that's one of my favorite bands. And the Toadies, who turned into the Burden Brothers, who still was one of my favorite bands. Great album. I think they put out at least 2, but the Toadies are very popular around town, and I'll guarantee you they probably have played the Rail Club a time or two. So yeah, I should have talked to him about that. And then Michael J. Lacey Jr., we talked about a lot of stuff, and I kind of had notes written down here what I wanted to cover, and we covered probably 10% of that stuff, but we did a lot of talking, and I thought about it. I'd like to get maybe Mike back on. I said that during the show. Get Mike back on for a part 2, and maybe have you do it with him this time, and you cover some stuff that we didn't cover last time, because you and Mike have a rich history as well. When I say rich, I mean...
Yeah. Well, a lot of our history, I don't know if you could put on here.
Well, that's how Mike started the show off that day. He said, you know, do you want me to tell the truth? Do you want me to tell stories about...
Yeah.
That would be a short show, sir.
Yeah, that would be a short show. And also John Cruz, man, that was a good one.
Yeah,
really enjoyed that one.
That was fun. And, you know,
it was hilarious.
Yeah, no, he is. And he had what a great memory. There's some of that stuff he was talking about, us living next door. I don't remember none of that.
I kind of remember the devil thing.
Yeah,
I just think it's funny how it affected his life.
I find it.
And how creative you were to say that they were chanting, devil, devil, devil. Very creative young man.
I may be an alien. I find it crazy that I've blocked that out. So I must have known I was doing something wrong.
And to find a mop handle without a mop on top and say that the pitchfork was in the people, that's very inventive.
I did have quite the imagination.
Should have been a writer.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's still a chance.
Yeah, got time.
Still be a writer. All right.
Stones are still around. You got time.
I wrote some notes for the show today.
That counts.
You're a writer.
All right, Joe. Thanks for joining us, man. Like I said, we'll try to get the club owner on here from the Rail Club. I'd like to get you back on with that because another thing we want to talk about when we get him back on is the fact that we talk about club owners. We're talking about Chris over there at the Rail Club I met recently, and then a guy we've known for a long time that passed away yesterday, Bob Shepard.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So Bob's been sick for like 2 weeks, and I think I told a lot of people, and I misread the post on Facebook that Bob had passed away. Come to find out within 24 hours, they said, no, he didn't pass away. He's on his deathbed. It could happen any day now. So he hung on for about 2 weeks, but I got up this morning to read some posts from all the people that we know from back in the old days that knew Bob and their relationship with him, and a lot of stories coming out that I didn't know about with Bob and his relationship with people we know. So he's been a really great guy to a lot of people, and I always just looked at him as Bob Shepard from Rock Island, but you know what? He was 100 other things, maybe 1,000. Really was family.
I got a couple of good Bob stories.
We'll have to get into those when we talk to Chris next time. All right, man. Well, you keep enjoying the great outdoors and cool cat.
Rock on, guys.
Rock on. All right, everybody. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Joe. Talk to y'all later.
See you later.
Later.
Peace out.